What's up, faithful? Welcome to the East Coast Red and Gold podcast. I'm Niners Jess, along with Ty Alston, Maddie B, who will be joining us shortly, and Niner Lady Dina. It is Wednesday, October 29th, and we have special guest, Kate Rooney of PIX11 News. Kate, welcome back.
Hey, faithful. Thanks for having me back, guys. And I'm actually on the West Coast this time. It's a whole different vibe. I mean, what? I still don't know where I am,
okay.
apparently.
We know what you meant. So Kate was first on with us when we started up. I met Kate at an event at Levi Stadium, Women's of the Niners event, and kept in touch ever since. And now, then she was at the Bay Area. Now she's in the tri-state area. How do you like it?
I love it. I lived here right after college, and so it really felt like coming home. And now living here with my family, and my kids are, learning how to be New Yorkers. We're happy, especially when the 49ers come here and we can watch the games at a decent hour.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So how close are you following the Niners this year?
Pretty closely. I try to watch every game. My husband is also a 49ers fan. And so he will often, if I'm out at a Jets or Giants game, he will often wait to watch the game, record it, and then we'll watch it together when I get home. Have to be very careful for phone notifications and things like that. Yeah. We've had a couple spoilers, but I've missed a couple games. But if I don't get to see the game, then I always, read up afterwards and try to stay tapped into what's going on.
So then what happened against the Texans.
I unfortunately know what happened against the Texans. Yeah.
So your thoughts on that game, offense, defense, special teams?
Yeah. Well, overall, I think it was a little bit of a surprise, and that's funny to say because I had actually just talked with Ty last week and talked about how this team was overperforming. They were doing so well. I couldn't believe how well the young players were performing, even on the defense. And then it's like they just disproved every insight I had.
Word. Every word.
But yeah, pretty much every word. It was a little mind-blowing how poorly everything went, I thought. It was the exact opposite of what we saw the previous week against the Falcons and just what we've seen in general in terms of execution from this team, especially against a team like Houston that is just not very good. So I have to wonder if, in the NFL, they say there's no such thing as a trap game. You prepare really hard for every team. But I just wonder if maybe the 49ers didn't put as much, subconsciously even, maybe didn't put as much effort on execution heading into that game because, I wasn't impressed with anything. The offense was not in rhythm at any point. I don't remember seeing that many 3-and-outs in a very long time. And defensively, you can't contain CJ Stroud, hasn't been having a very good year. And that was frustrating as well. So, and then the injuries continuing to pile up in the game. So overall, one of their worst outings of the year. And the only silver lining is I expect them to have another bounce back game. That's something this team does really well. They bounce back after multiple losses, and the Giants have plenty struggles of their own. So it does feel like a good opportunity for another bounce back.
Yeah, I feel like going into.
Did she freeze? Or is it me?
She's frozen.
Oh, snap. That's weird.
Just
I froze?
Oh, there she is. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't me this time.
Sorry. It's always one of us. I don't know if you heard me, but I seem to think that they didn't have much of a game plan.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's hard to imagine with Kyle Shanahan because I know that they script as much of the first half as they possibly can. Yeah. And so I think for some reason, whatever game plan they had just was not a success. Or finally, the youth and inexperience of some of these players caught up to them and they weren't able to execute whatever they had planned because it sure looked like they weren't prepared in any way, shape, or form.
Ty, what are your thoughts on the game?
I just think it was their game plan was better than ours. Like they know each other, right? It's basically the Rams offense and the 49ers defense. Well, they kind of out NFC West us, if you will, right? They cut out their shortcomings by going to max protect and short passes and stuff and ran play action. moved CJ Stroud around, did the little things like a Sean McVay would do with his annoying self. And defensively, they just played stern, like solid 49ers-esque defense, the way we would normally play. So I think they just outdid us to those degrees. I think we just couldn't execute. When we did, there was a penalty or a drop pass or something that just killed us. And I think what Kate just mentioned, there was a lot of inexperience showed itself. I don't know why. Like, it just reared its ugly head this game. DBs were bumping into each other. Guys were biting on play action that wasn't really play action, leaving guys wide open, blowing their assignments. I mean, it was all of the above. It was one of those ugly, ugly games that you rarely see, but it happened on Sunday.
Yeah, Dina.
Yeah, there wasn't enough vodka in the world to help me to get rid of this. It was ugly. Yes, it was ugly. And I was just so shocked at how poised the Texans were. Like, they weren't like that before. And it's like one of my friends said, well, the coach has got to prove something, and he's trying to prove something to Shanahan. And I was like, yeah, but dang, we beat ourselves. We beat ourselves by running into each other, drop balls that were catchable. The defense, I don't know why are you like gathering on one person and leaving the rest of the field open? Like, oh my God, this is not us. It was like a total role reversal, which I was not expecting. I mean, I thought it was going to be a close game, like maybe by 7 points. But I did not expect such a debacle with the running game, the defense. They beat us at our own game. That bottom line. Yeah. That's what it was. They beat us at our own game. And it really blew my mind and made a bartender very happy.
Yeah, I mean, I think the one silver lining was that our red zone defense held up.
Big time, yeah. Not an end zone a lot.
But we definitely made a terrible Houston offense look good.
Yeah.
And you have to wonder how much of that was DeMeco Ryan's familiarity with Kyle Shanahan's system. I mean, no one knows Shanahan, what he does, better than the guys who've worked for him, right? So I think that definitely came into play. And I'm sure Kyle was doing everything he possibly thought of to try to throw DeMeco off the scent, but
it didn't work.
They know each other well.
Yeah.
Now, Kate, before you mentioned that, injuries started to pile up. The good news is that they're all day to day. But what are your thoughts on the injuries this season?
The last time I remember it being this bad was in 2020. And a lot of those actually were on the artificial turf at MetLife Stadium. So that's an interesting factor heading into Sunday's game. It does seem like the 49ers have more than their fair share of these, sort of soft tissue injuries and just injuries in general. It's really hard to understand what it's all about because they have access to the same world-class physicians and trainers that all of the other NFL teams do. They have clearly poured a lot of time, energy, and resources into trying to fix this issue. I have to chalk it up to how hard and how physical they are expected to play. And that's just got to have something to do with it because there's nothing that these guys are doing or that the team doctors are doing or that the trainers are doing that anyone on the staff is doing that is subpar compared to any other organization. I mean, at a certain point, people just get so frustrated. They think, well, they must be doing something differently. But I don't think that's the case. I think it's just one of the side effects of a very physical team. But at this point, you almost have to chuckle anytime someone goes down, not because you wish bad things for, these players who are putting their blood, sweat, and tears into this. It's horrible to see players get hurt. But it's just so unbelievable that there can be this much attrition on one team. And especially when it comes to important players. I mean, first you had George Kittle missing the first, 6 weeks of the season, effectively. Then you have Brock Purdy barely able to perform, missing all this time. And then just on defense, we're down to, the dregs of their roster, and they're doing their best to address that at the trade deadline. I assume that they're going to continue to make moves if they can before Tuesday, but it's a tough pill to swallow because it feels like they're 5-3. What could this season have been? What potential are they not going to be able to capitalize on because of these injuries? It's just hard to watch.
Yeah, it is.
One of the many position groups that have been pretty much scrutinized this whole season, last season, was the offensive line. Your thoughts on the offensive line?
I think it is high time for the 49ers to invest in their offensive line in a way that they have not over the past several seasons. It infuriates me to some extent because I feel that they're wasting Trent Williams' final years of his career, and he is still playing at a very high level. But you can also see that the time that he's going to be able to do that is not indefinite. And as much as I like some of these guys, Jake Brendel, Colton McKivitz, they are clearly not up to the challenge. They are not in the elite tier of offensive linemen that you need to have if you want to be a Super Bowl contending team year after year. And even Dominic Pooney, someone who had so much promise initially, seems to have taken a little bit of a step back. So I don't really know what that's about, but they just don't have reliable guys at all outside of Trent Williams. And if that isn't what they take care of in the first 3 rounds of the draft, then I think it's going to be a real problem going forward.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Maddie.
There he is.
Hey,
What's going on, Matt?
Welcome.
Hey, Matt.
Hello.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit about the Texans game, and now we're on to the offensive line.
Which is truly offensive, which is great. Like it actually
The whole
this
offense
point-
is offensive.
at this point, it is truly offensive. Like to us, our intelligence, like this really needs to be fixed at this point. Yeah, welcome in. Coming in hot, I guess. Geez. Sorry, guys. I went to Houston and back in 19 hours flat, and I'm still kind of recovering from it. So it was.
Oh my God.
It was a journey,
Impressive.
but it's off the list. And let me tell you, Texans fans. By the way, another stadium where they pump the crowd noise in when the 49ers have the ball. New Orleans does the same thing. They have speakers up in the ceilings, and I've started to buy seats that are higher up because 1, they're cheaper, and 2, you can see more stuff without people getting in your way. But all of these stadiums now, especially the indoor ones, have speakers. Yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty blatantly obvious, but like nobody's going to do anything about it unless they're going to do anything about it, right? Right. And then like you've got these snarky Texans fans whose like biggest achievement is having a 24-point lead in the AFC title game a few years ago, like talking trash as 49ers fans are leaving. Like,
Oh, lovely.
I hope you enjoy the money they contributed to the local economy there, gang. You know, like way to go. Like, classless. Get out of here.
All right.
Unbelievable.
So let's talk about the trade that happened yesterday. We acquired Keon White from the New England Patriots, and we also signed Cleveland Farrell back on the practice squad, who was with us in the 2023 season. Kate, your thoughts on the trade, and if they're done or they're still making moves before next Wednesday?
I like it. I think it's solid. I think from the film that I've seen from Keon White, which is obviously not much because I wasn't really aware of him before this, but now there's all these clips of him circulating. It seems like he might be a guy, one of those guys that thrives so well in San Francisco, who has just not been able to have the right coaching staff and the right system to maximize his potential. And we know that that's something that Robert Saleh really excels at. So I'm very curious to see what he can do. They've been sort of great with these defensive line rentals, over the years. And I'm hoping that he's just the next in line for that. Cleveland Farrell, someone who in terms of not living up to expectations. He, was a high draft pick by the Raiders after an incredible college career and just really never came to fruition in the NFL. But he's sort of a good utility guy, and the 49ers really liked him when he was there before. So he's a guy that they know that they can trust to step in if needed. And the way things have been going, it'll likely be needed. 2 solid moves. I would not be surprised at all if they're not done, because they have the belief. This team, one thing about this team, they never stop believing. There have been so many situations in which they started seasons poorly, where they, maybe started the season 3-5, right? Just as an example, and people were counting them out. And then they went on to make a deep run. And that's what they're banking on this year. Now, for us, is that realistic? It's hard to say at this point. Probably not. I'd like to think it is, but probably not. But outside of that building is the people who are saying that. Inside, they still believe. They've overcome a lot of obstacles, and I think they're going to try to do everything they can. Not going to mortgage the future, but they're going to try to do everything they can to try to make this team one that can still contend down the stretch, especially when they have a healthy Brock Purdy.
Maddie, you're in the New England area. How do you feel about Keon White?
Well, it's funny. Almost exactly what Kate said. Like, he just needs to be unlocked. There's keys there, right? Bill Belichick had to be talked out of taking him in the first round, apparently, has been one of the hot things up here this week. Weird stuff comes out about Patriots players after they leave. It's one of the weirdest places. Weird. The Red Sox do the same thing. It is absolutely bizarre. But yeah, unlocked. And if Robert Saleh can do it, he can do it, right? Like, he can get some stuff done. I also think they can make Cleveland Farrell, helpful, right? He can be productive here. He's already shown he can be productive. So now let's see him be productive with Robert Saleh, right? Like, okay, bring him back with the gang. Like, that's just all of it, right? So I love it. I think it's a good move. And also, just to kind of piggyback again off of what Kate said, sorry, by the way, it's great. It's like intergender tag team match. I just tag your stuff. They're not mortgaging the future. Like, they traded a 6th rounder for White, but they also got a 7th rounder back. What the hell's the difference between a 6th rounder and a 7th rounder?
Not
a few
much.
$100,000 in salary, actually.
Unless it's Mr. Irrelevant, but that's not
right. But like, I mean, honestly, why not load up at the end of the draft? Like, I would give this team 15 picks between rounds 4 through 7. I feel much more confident
Super Bowl
with
roster
their picks there
Right.
between as opposed to their picks at 1 through 3, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
all I can say about that. So,
All right. So this weekend we have Niners Giants on Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern start time. Kate, you now cover the Giants and the Jets. As far as the Giants go, talk a little bit about their offense, and it starts with Jackson Dart.
Their offense has taken a lot of hits too, and they've had to reinvent the wheel several times already over the course of this season. They handed the keys to Russell Wilson at the beginning of the season. That lasted for about 3 games. They just felt like they had the talent to win more games than they were winning after that 0-3 start. Now, they did have a couple close games. I don't think they were as close as the Giants like to say they were. But since they turned things over to Jackson Dart, say what you want about it, it's provided a spark of energy that has given an entire franchise hope, that has galvanized the team. Even today, I was in the Giants locker room, and they still have a similar type of can-do attitude. They believe that they are destined for greater things than what they've shown so far. And that's not to say that that's just going to fall into their lap. They believe in hard work and trying to get there. But offensively, Jackson Dart, to borrow Maddie's word, has unlocked different things for the Giants than they've been able to do in the past. I mean, Brian Daboll has this reputation for being this great offensive mind, being able to really work with quarterbacks, not unlike Kyle Shanahan in that way. Never worked with him and Daniel Jones, although now you maybe think maybe it is Brian Daboll because Daniel Jones looks like a borderline MVP candidate in Indy. But that being said, Jackson Dart clearly has a lot of the tools of what make a great NFL quarterback. And more importantly, he has the trust and respect of the team, even the veterans. Now, that being said, what they can do right now is extremely limited. And you've seen that manifest in the amount of off-schedule plays Jackson Dart has had to try to make, some of which have been successful, some of which haven't. He is a mobile quarterback, but I cringe on some of those runs because he hasn't fully embraced the QB slide yet. No. And I know it's something that he's working on, but it gives me sweaty palms a little bit every time he breaks out for a longer run, because I just worry about what's going to happen. They have lost their two arguably best offensive skill players, and of course Malik Neighbors and now Cam Scatterbo this past weekend. He was still a rookie. You know, you still didn't know exactly what you were getting with him, but we had a pretty good amount of tape from college. I was shocked that he dropped as far as the 5th round, and he was showing a lot of promise, you know, in the few starts that he had. So now what do, right? You fall back on some older guys. Darius Slayton's there. He's a good vet, but he's been banged up. Unclear how available he's going to be on Sunday. Their second-year running back, Tyrone Tracy, who's going to be RB1 on Sunday. He flashed last year. He had 3 games of 100 or more yards, flirted with hitting the 1,000-yard mark, but he's gotten very few carries this year since Cam Scatterbo was taking the main load. And so we don't really know what we're going to see in the run game from them. I will say the Giants offensive line has sort of surprised some people. They attempted to invest in their offensive line over the past couple of years, and it hasn't always gone well. They've dealt with some injuries to Andrew Thomas and Evan Neal in particular, a guy who's supposed to be so good and really hasn't lived up to that. But they have been pretty good, pretty solid this season. So if they can keep protecting Jackson Dart, he can keep learning. I think they have the potential to be an explosive offense. Are we going to see that on Sunday? Not sure they're there yet, but I think there's a lot of upside and a really high ceiling for the Giants offense.
So how do you think their offensive line is going to fare against the Niners defensive line?
Well, that's one of the $1 million questions. There's a couple, but who's going to be starting on the 49ers defensive line? I guess
there you go.
Yeah. There, right. We don't know, I guess, because especially because is Keon White going to come in and start? I don't know. I haven't heard. I'm not sure what Shanahan said today. Is he going to be up to speed in time?
I don't know.
Yeah, there might be something out there, but I just haven't seen it. So, you know, it's kind of an untested grouping, I would say. I'm more interested in actually the other side of things, how the Giants defensive line is going to fare against the 49ers offensive line, because the Giants have one of the worst, I should say. I think they are third, allowing 148.9 yards per game, the third worst rush defense in the NFL this season. And that, in theory, should be a situation that Kyle Shanahan can exploit with Christian McCaffrey. So to me, that's really the biggest matchup that I'm keying in on this weekend. They did not have much luck last week against the Eagles and Saquon Barkley after they did a pretty good job containing him the first time they met. So I know they're going to try to want to do something different than they did this past week. But that is, in theory, something that the 49ers should easily be able to exploit.
So what are your thoughts on Kayvon Thibodeau possibly being on the trade market?
I think a lot of people like that idea because it sounds like another situation that is really attractive, right? A guy who has not been as lights out as people necessarily thought he would be when he came to New York. And he is showing signs, I think, of playing better this year. He's been playing pretty well. And that's exactly why he's sort of a trade candidate. That being said, I would be very surprised if they part with him, because they still think that they can get more out of him, and they have him under contract through 2026. So if anything is going to happen with Kayvon Thibodeau, I do not think it's going to be this season. I would be pretty surprised to see him go in the next couple of days.
Oh, well, Kate, just to let you know, from the sources at 49ers social media,
okay.
but you know, they're never wrong. After the game on Sunday, Thibodeau is just going to get on the bus with the 49ers and fly back with them to Santa Clara.
Yep.
And they're going to work out a contract on the plane. That's what's going to happen.
I'm sure.
Stranger things have happened. I mean, stranger things have happened. I might be eating my words. Certainly would not be the first time. So we'll see. I'll have to pay attention to which tunnel he walks out of on Sunday.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So how does a 2-6 team, although with Kayvon Thibodeau, I would imagine maybe that if the Giants lose on Sunday, that could all change. You never know. But how does the 2-6 Giants team prepare for the 5-3 Niners?
Well, I think that they actually believe that they have an opportunity here, mainly because of all the injuries to the 49ers. They feel like this is a chance for them to take advantage of a defense that struggled last week, that clearly has some things to iron out, that again has that experience and a lot of youth that is not always going to do them any favors when they're on the field. So that is just from talking to some of the players today, not necessarily their expectation, but they think that they have an opportunity. Brian Daboll is typically very tight-lipped when it comes to, any, obviously strategy is not exactly the right word because no coach is going to divulge their strategy ahead of a game, but he never has much to say other than the basic platitudes about a team. And so he just said how much respect he has for Kyle Shanahan and, what a great player Christian McCaffrey is. But I'm pretty sure that what he is telling his players is that they have a chance to go out and win this game at home and that they're being counted out unfairly against the 49ers and that their 5-3 record isn't not necessarily indicative of who they actually are. That being said, I think the 49ers have that history of coming out after a loss and wanting to come out and be physical and beat up on guys. And so we'll see if they have the personnel to get that done. But the Giants are going to pull out all the stops. They are tired of losing in crushing fashion, and they see a team coming in there that is like a wounded duck, so to speak. And they believe that they can get it done.
So as a 49ers fan, how do you like the Mac Jones to Kendrick Bourne connection?
I did mention this to Ty a little bit when I talked to him last week too, but it's worked. Okay. There have been times when it's been great. I am something of a Kendrick Bourne skeptic. I've seen him drop way too many balls. I've been traumatized by that. If he can perform every week like he did against the Falcons, great. That's the Kendrick Bourne that we need to see every single week, especially since we never seem to know what we're going to get out of Juwan Jennings and Ricky Pierce this season. Love JJ. I'm not going to say a bad word about him, but it hasn't been his season because he's been hurt. And Ricky Pearsall, sounds like he's still not quite ready to go. So they're relying a lot on Bourne. It's better than I thought it was going to be. It's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. It also still scares me every time they're out on the field.
Two more from me. How do you feel about Brock Purdy's toe injury?
I don't love it because turf toe is one of those injuries, assuming that that's what it is, that is very difficult to deal with and is something that can plague a player throughout his career. And I'm glad that the 49ers have been able to be so cautious with him. If Mac Jones hadn't been performing so well, I think Purdy probably would have already played by now. But it's nagging, and I think that that's extremely worrisome, and I think it's something that is probably going to have to be monitored and is going to hinder him to some degree for a long time.
All right, I'm going to put you on the spot. Who wins on Sunday?
I still think it's going to be the 49ers because of all the reasons that I said. And if the 49ers can play to their standard, they are still a much more organized, talented, and better team than the Giants. The Giants are not there yet at all. They have had some moments, but there is still a lot of dysfunction on that team. And in theory, the 49ers are a better team and they should win. But I think it's going to be a close game. I wouldn't be surprised if it's, there's only a touchdown or something like that separating them.
All right. Any other questions for Kate?
I hear nothing but horror stories about that turf. Is that like a thing? Like, do you notice anything extra there per chance?
It is a thing. Well, they have replaced it since the 2020 House of Horrors. So this is new turf since then. So it's supposed to be better.
It's new to us, right?
It's new to the 49ers. Yeah.
It's allegedly better.
It is allegedly better. It's supposed to be, the top of the line product that you can get out there right now. I am not savvy enough to notice any difference when I'm standing on the field. Is this better or worse than any other turf? I can't tell you that. I can't understand why they're just not willing to invest in real grass. You are $1 billion franchise. You have all the money in the world to do anything you want. Why not invest in real grass? It just makes absolutely no sense. The players all want it, including the Giants and Jets players. And I really think it's a travesty that this is an ongoing issue and they're just not willing to make that investment for some reason that's above my pay grade.
That's okay. The World Cup will have grass. So everybody.
Not only will the World
Yeah.
Cup have grass, but the friendlies a few months ago, the tune-ups for the
Had grass,
World Cup
yeah.
had grass. So this is clearly something that can be done. It looked absolutely beautiful, and it was drew a lot of ire from New York
Wow.
football fans
Of course it did.
because
As it should have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as it should. Well deserved ire. It's an embarrassment, frankly.
Wow.
So we have a question from the chat. Will the 49ers win the division?
Do you want me to take that one, or?
They're putting you on the
Go ahead,
spot.
Kate. Go ahead.
yeah, that's putting you on the spot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see any reason why they can't. Right? I mean, the NFC West was expected to be, again, one of the toughest divisions in the NFL this season, and it's certainly, has its moments, but I don't see any reason why they can't beat any of those teams on any given night. And I expect them to be competitive in every single division game and probably demolish the Cardinals again. Yeah, I think they could win the NFC West, but it's just, it all depends too on, the health of these players and how well they're able to continue playing. They do have a favorable schedule. They don't play many dominant teams this season. So they should be able to win.
Are the kids going as Dwight Clark, Joe Montana for Halloween, or is it a bad week to do that?
My kids are not going to be doing that. They are,
Okay.
We're still,
Just
they
wondering.
say go Niners and stuff, but we're still working them into being true diehard fans. We haven't quite gotten there yet. My daughter, who can she identify? Brock? That might be like the only player she can really identify. We have a lot of work to do.
That's all right.
Kittle.
That's a good start.
Fair enough.
Kittle.
I was just
Okay.
thinking you could remake
Exactly.
the cat to be a great week for it, or you could do like the Montana to Rice thing from '87. Like that'd be a good little fun thing. Giants
Maybe
fans
next
would
year.
love
You're giving me a
that.
good idea.
Yeah.
Oh, they would. Yeah.
It'd be huge.
Be ecstatic.
They'd love it.
We'd have a lot of friends.
Yeah, they would be very excited. I feel like you'd get the fake baby roots. Yes.
All right.
Speaking of Halloween,
Yeah.
Kate, hold on.
Oh,
Plain or
sorry.
peanut?
M&Ms?
Yeah, M&M's, plain or peanut?
Oh, plain all the way.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
peanut, or if I see if someone offers me M&Ms and then they give me peanut, I'm disappointed.
Alrighty then.
Am I
It's not
being-
really
yeah?
an M&M. It's like a covered peanut. Thank
Right, exactly. It's a chocolate dipped peanut.
you. Right.
All right. Anything else?
Wait, real quick.
Yeah.
Who would you
Go ahead.
say are the three best defensive players on the Jets?
Ooh.
Oh man, I got to switch my brain back into Jets mode. It's
Yeah,
funny,
yeah, real
I was like at Giants
Transition.
practice today. I'm like, who's on that team?
Who's
Well,
on that
Sauce
team?
Gardner,
Uh-huh.
and he's been dealing with a concussion, but he's fantastic. I just saw they traded Michael Carter, so that's an interesting one. And then you've got Quinnen Williams, of course. He's a stalwart,
Yeah.
and he's one of those guys who's going to be good year after year. I'm a huge Quincy Williams fan as well.
I like Quincy
The Williams
too.
brothers are,
Yeah.
I think, are both great. So those are probably going to be my top three for the Jets.
Okay, so real quick, according to 49er social media, again, which is the know all to be all of everything, all
I
three
learned
of
a
those
lot
players,
from the faithful.
all three of those players are going to be traded to us. We're just going to go and get all three of them.
Right.
They're
Woody
coming back
Johnson
on the
loves
plane,
Robert
too.
Saleh so much.
Yeah.
Just wants to
Is there
send him
any
some-
rumblings of the Jets parting ways with any of them?
I have seen
Ooh.
Quinnen Williams' name linked a couple times. Sauce, they just locked up. Sauce isn't going anywhere.
Okay.
Quincy, look, I don't think anyone is completely off the table other than maybe Sauce, because I think Quincy is a free agent next year. I might have that wrong, but I wouldn't be surprised if either of the Williams brothers are gone. And maybe even like a Jermaine Johnson. I don't know his contract status, but he's probably another one of their top defensive players, and someone who would be a valuable trade chip. So yeah, I mean, it would make sense for them. They're sellers for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Kate
Yeah.
Rooney,
Thanks, Kate.
PIX11 News.
Thank you, Kate.
Thank you,
Yay.
Kate. Appreciate
Always
it.
good to see you.
Guys, great to talk to you all again. And hopefully I'll see some of you, maybe all of you, at the game on Sunday.
That's
Yes.
the hope.
Yep.
Okay. Looking
Alrighty.
forward to it.
All right.
Yep.
Take care.
See you there.
Take care.
We hear Jess froze again.
Guys.
What does that mean?
Oh, I was very.
What's that?
I was like,
Yeah.
"Whoa,
Yeah.
You
was
just
that a
froze
me
again,
thing?"
Jess.
I'm like, "No, it's
And now
Jess."
your
Okay.
picture is frozen. Oh, there you go. Now
Oh,
you're
there
muted.
she's
Okay.
back. All right, she was.
Yeah.
we're all-
Yeah, I'm freezing a lot today. I don't know why. Maddie, I want to start with you with this Texans game. The one of the main things that I had a problem with was the time of possession.
No.
Oh, you mean the 11 for 11 third down? Like the 100% 100% third down, 11-11. That's Sega Genesis Madden against your cousin in 1995 level bad, right? That is absolutely insane. And that first drive just set the tone for the entire day. Like it really did. It never changed. That defense was gassed. It was tired. They looked exhausted from the beginning. Like it's very like we all go to a lot of games. We go to a lot of those games at 1 o'clock Eastern time. In this case, it was noon Central, which is weird. Because it's kind of like you're going back in time a little bit. I actually think the Central time zone games are worse for them as opposed to the Eastern time zone games, right? Like you can kind of wrap your head around it a little bit. Reality, you're starting late. You're starting a little later. It's just weird, right? And they just looked out of sorts for the entire first quarter, offensively, defensively. Special teams didn't look great either. Like they just no, that whole first quarter was one of the worst first quarters of 49 football I've ever seen, especially on the road in a game like that against a team that like had looked so pedestrian offensively. Like people were genuinely questioning whether CJ Stroud was like any better than Bryce Young, which is crazy to me because 2 years ago, absolutely no one would be asking that question. So like, it was just nuts. Like they made him look like prime Warren Moon. There's a guy in front of me wearing an Warren Moon jersey, and I'm like, oh my God, he actually looks like prime Warren Moon today, hitting Haywood Jeffries and all those guys, right? Drew Hill, like all those. It was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. It was insane. Yeah. And even the offense that they had, man, they had to work for every George Kittle in triple coverage. I mean, that had to be a perfect ball and a perfect catch. George Kittle in triple coverage. And honestly, that's your best option. Your best option is to throw it to the guy with three guys around him, not to throw it to Jawan Jennings, not to throw it to Kendrick Bourne. To God's sakes, don't throw it to Jordan Watkins. Throw it to George Kittle with three guys around him. Or, Christian McCaffrey on an in route.
And what do I always say about George?
Yeah, like there just needs to be more. And he would have had 2 touchdowns if it wasn't for Jake Tongas and his sticky fingers, right? Like, I don't know what happened there, but that was pretty crazy. But that defense, man, they need more than Keon White. Quinnen Williams, the run defense still hasn't been fixed. Fred Warner was doing yeoman's work, and I think we're now starting to see how much work Fred Warner was doing.
Yeah.
He was covering up and covering for so many things. And a lot of times he was out of position here. He was getting late there to something because he was trying to cover somebody else's assignment, somebody else's stuff. Well, we don't have Fred Warner out there right now, and you can tell.
Right.
So the basics have to be buttoned up. Everybody has to handle their own shit. Fred's not going to take care of it for you. And that's what you're seeing right now with this defense. And Robert Saleh will get it figured out. I trust that he will get it figured out. He will find a way to make things happen. But the more and more and more I see this team, the more and more I am brought back to the year of 1986. It just seems like the same sort of vibe. Like they're losing games that they should definitely win. There's definitely a period of transition. That 2019 to 2023 team is cycling out. You're going to have a bunch of dead cap money coming off the books this year, right? Like this is a transition year, and yet here we are, still undefeated in the division, right? And still trucking and still in good shape. And with a win this week against the Giants, you're still in great shape, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they could conceivably be a 1 seed based on their schedule if they go out and they win the games that they're supposed to win. But they've got to beat these teams, and the Giants are a team that they should beat. If they make Jackson Dart look as good as CJ Stroud did next week, don't even bother trading for anybody. Just give everybody their reps and do the best you can this year and get ready for next year.
I think for this game, and actually before we move on to the Niners Giants, we're brought to you by Faithful Gear. Get your customized Niners gear at faithfulgear209.com. Made for the faithful, by the faithful. Also, I completely forgot that we are doing a George Kittle t-shirt giveaway. So put your numbers in the chat now between 1 and 50, and we will pick it in a few minutes. It's either he's holding up his shirt and has the F Dallas, and it's either in black or white. So put your numbers in the chat, and we'll pick it in a few minutes. All right. So Niners Giants. For me, this is a must-win game. I think this game is huge. I think the following game against the Rams is huge. I think for now, with adding Keon White and Cleveland Ferrell, I think that helps because we will not have Yatir Gross-Matos. Alfred Collins actually didn't practice today because of his shoulder. Sam O, I believe, was limited. He'll probably play. But we're, obviously banged up, and we have been. So, what do you guys think as far as the defense with the Niners Giants? Dina?
Yeah, I think we need to really tighten up on what we've been doing. What I saw last week was that they took advantage of the fact that Warner wasn't out there. And I think a lot of teams are looking at that, and they ran the play where Warner would have started. And we just need to clean up our act. The tackling was disgusting. It just really bothered me. But I think during this, if we clean up our act and have a clean defense and stop just running all over the field.
Just keeping that discipline, right?
Yeah, I mean, everything was just so scattered, and it was really, I thought I was watching little kids for a minute, like Pop Warner football. But if we just everybody does their assignment, does what they're supposed to do, and have some clean tackling, not just grabbing a jersey, knock them down, please. Just knock them the hell down. We got it. Let's go back. Stop trying to over try, because you're making mistakes.
George Kittle t-shirt giveaway. Get your numbers in the chat. Numbers 1 to 50.
Oh yeah, 1 to 50. I can't do that, right? Dad.
Why don't we just do 1 to 49? That's really weird to me. I just
all right.
Maybe we should do that in the future.
All right. Put your numbers in the chat, 1 through 49. We'll pick it in a few minutes.
All right, there you go.
You win a George Kittle F Dallas t-shirt, courtesy of Faithful Gear. Ty, your thoughts on the defense?
I have no problem with the defense. Defense is fine. The young players were a little undisciplined, got out of their way, and that kind of threw things off. But they in the first half, they really had no time to adjust, because as soon as they got off the field, they had to go right back on. So really no time to adjust. In the second half, they did much better. They gave up the touchdown on the opening drive, but that Sean McVay offense, it's the same offense. Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, they script those plays, and they're hard to stop. So you expected that, and the defense did hold for much of that second half. Had plenty of opportunity to get into the game, so I think they'll be better. I think there were just a lot of miscues, especially on the back end, that hurt things. But you have to take a hats off to, basically Sean McVay's offense. They were ready for it. They did a lot of max protection. They had 6 and 7 guys in to protect CJ Stroud, right? So it's hard to get to him. A lot of dink and duck short passes, get the ball out of his hands, do things. It's kind of hard, but I think the defense will bounce back. Robert Saleh has too much pride, and he'll get them guys in shape. I got no problem with the defense.
The one thing I had a problem with was CJ Stroud felt like he had forever to throw.
Whoever got his jersey in the post-game swap, there's not a single stain on that thing. Let's just put it that way. It was definitely like pretty clean at the end.
So I'm hoping this weekend is a different story with those 2 additions. They have fresh legs. I think the Keon White situation was similar to Huff. He just wasn't used correctly. And
he was a holdover from the previous administration, and he wasn't going to fit what they wanted to do with the new crew. That's really what it boiled down to.
All right, so game plans for the Niners Giants game. For me, have to run the ball. As Kate alluded to earlier, the Giants defense is not in so many words terrible at their run defense. So I think we need a heavy dose of Christian McCaffrey, but we also need some Brian Robinson Jr. in there as well. So hopefully they get it divvied up on Sunday. Ty, game plan.
They should run the ball. I mean, play bully ball, run the ball, work play action. Get Eddie Pinheiro on the field as much as possible. D'Amico Ryans did a brilliant game plan. His whole game plan was to keep Eddie Pinheiro off the field. And
it's
it
the highest point score right
him.
now for them. So
it worked brilliantly for him. So we have to find a way to get Eddie Pinheiro on the field so that he can score all of our points and we can win a game. So I think that's the game plan.
Dina, what do you think? Should we come back to you?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear you. You froze on my screen. I mean, hell.
Freezing all over the place.
Your face was great. You were like, you looked like you were really putting some thought into it. Like,
yeah, I thought you were like thinking. That's why I said that.
I am. I'm sorry. I didn't hear my call. Yeah. Run the ball, play 49er football. And, again, run the ball, execute, catch, and just do 49er football, and we should be fine.
Maddie?
That's my take on it.
I continue to bang the drum, not just slowly now, but loudly, for more Brian Robinson Jr. So every time he touches the ball, it seems like good things happen. Terradome talked about his run back, but like it's not just that. Every time he touches the ball, something good happens. It's like he gets featured for 1 or 2 series, and then they put him in mothballs again. Like, what are we doing? I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't think use check is really used enough either, especially considering the circumstances we are under right now. To me, I would prefer to see more. Frankly, there's a lot of different formations you can use with 2 tight ends. You could run two tight ends and have use check in there.
Yep.
Like, you have a lot of flexibility there. I really like Tongas. Someone's finally filled in as a good second receiver. By the way, I never thought the backwoods of Maine would have sirens this late at night, but here we are.
What's going on out there?
Yeah. It's a hard.
Sounds like Philly.
It really does. The only thing missing is someone yelling at my daughter when we're going into the link. I a middle-aged woman yelling at my 12-year-old, right?
Lovely.
So when it comes to this team right now, I think they need to get back to basics with running the ball. And I think if they did that, number one, it always seems to reset this team's season when they do these things, but it also makes them more competent in the red zone. Because what it boils down to right now in the red zone is, one, they haven't had George Kittle all year. Okay. You can say whatever you want about the receivers. You don't have George Kittle. There's most of your red zone. There's 50 to 60% of your red zone offense is gone without George Kittle, just because they've leaned on him so heavily in the red zone for years. And honestly, probably should lean on him more. And also Christian McCaffrey, who is, D'Amico Ryans was like, okay, we'll just triple team you on occasion. It's fine. No big deal, because we know they're going to go to Christian McCaffrey. So to me, like, use your 2 running backs, use your 2 tight ends, use your fullback. You only have to put 1 wideout out there. Maybe you don't put any wideouts out there, right? Split McCaffrey out to be the wideout. Stick B-Rob out to be the wideout. Stick Kittle out to be the wideout. Like, Tongas, any of them. You have options. There's flexibility. And those are matchup nightmares for a lot of defenses in the league. Like, utilize that. Be a tough-ass 49ers football team that runs the ball down your throat whenever you want, and you know that when they get inside the 10-yard line, they're going to score. What's the difference between the Eagles and the 49ers right now? You know that the Eagles are going to get their illegal play allowed, and they're going to get 2 yards anytime they need to get 2 yards, right? I don't have any sort of play or confidence right now that when the 49ers need 2 yards, that they're going to get 2 yards.
Terradome says Juice is the 49ers Winnebago. Only take it out 2 or 3 times a year, have a nice time, and keep it parked the other 48 weeks a year.
See, they should use him. They should be using him like a truck. He should be going to the dump at least every week, right? And then there should be some other thing where they go to like the wholesale club and buy groceries. Like that, he should be used twice as much. Like there's really, the tight ends and the running backs are all matchup nightmares for linebackers and safeties and corners for various reasons. It is stupid to me that they are not being used right now, and we're getting, 6th, 7th wide receiver play. That drop by Jordan Watkins the other day, like, yes, he's a rookie and but holy shit, did that kill the game, right?
Yep.
Like that was,
I didn't even see that.
After that, there was no momentum. That was, it was right in his hands too. Like, hi there. Like, poor Mac Jones, man. That dude has sacrificed his, like, the respect I have for Mac Jones is off the chart. Like, he has been getting his ass kicked and dropping dimes. That throw that he had to Jennings, guys, was right in front of me. There is no excuse for, like, none. Jennings wants the Jennings, like, should have caught that. And he knew he did. He was so mad after, right? Like, that's just how his season has gone. Give me more Tongas. Give me more Juice. Give me more B-Rob. Let's go. Let's power this in. Defense and running. Okay? And no turnovers from the quarterback. You do that, you'll be fine. Especially with the special teams right now. I don't care. PFF take with a grain of salt, but we see with our own eyes. They're not costing us anymore. Right?
All right, Ty, you ready to pick a number?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Go ahead. 48. It can't be 6-7. That's the good news.
Ready? And crap. Hold on. Faked everyone out. Okay, let's go.
As alarms going off.
35. All right, let's see.
Ooh. Okay.
Dawn Dotson.
All right, Dawn.
33.
33.
All right, Dawn.
Congratulations, Dawn. All right. Dawn, you know how to get in touch with me. DM me with your shirt size, your address, and what color, black or white t-shirt, and we will get that out to you. Congratulations. All right.
Yeah.
X factors before we get out of here. Dina, go ahead.
X factors. My thing is, I want. I'll not hold on to it for another 5 nanoseconds. It just really annoys me. It scares me. Other than that, run the ball. Run the ball. Just run it. We got to do that and keep people off guard. Keep their defense off guard. And we will do this.
Ty, X
So.
factors.
Jordan Watkins on offense. Defense. Who I want to go with? I'm going to say CJ West.
Okay.
CJ West?
Hopefully he's
Yep.
not a healthy and active this week because he
I
was
know.
last week.
They need him. They need the body. So
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
yeah.
That's true. Yeah, Maddie.
Keon White. Always seems like when a guy plays his first game for the 49ers, he does something. Just one of those deals, right? Chase Young was real big in his first game. Maybe wasn't that great after, but you know. On offense, I
Who
I don't
knows?
know, man. I don't know. I'm sure there's a groin string or something that's going on. I don't really know. What's the difference?
There's no
really?
update on that torn hamstring.
Yeah, it's absolutely
Oof.
shenanigans and insanity, but you know, it's fine. To me, the X factor in this game is how much Christian McCaffrey touches the ball. And you're going to be like, wait a minute, what do you mean? Well, if he touches the ball a lot, that means that it's going to be one of those grind him out, everything runs through him games. If he only touches the ball 15, 20 times, that means the offense is clicking and they're actually spreading it around. So I'm hoping that he only has to have like 15, 20 touches, right? If he gets anything more than 20 touches, there's a very good possibility we lose this game.
All right. I am going with George Kittle. And on defense, I'm going with Cleveland Farrell.
I could see him having a home run game too, just to be back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And feel valued and appreciated again.
Right. Hopefully the new guys in the building will definitely show up on Sunday. All right. Let's get to that 2-minute warning. And Ty, you're up.
So, what's the difference between us and the Cleveland Browns? They can't score. We can't score. They look for their defense to win every game. We look for our defense to win every game. Are we really in the same category as the Cleveland Browns in reality? Our offense needs to get their shit together. Now. I'm done with it. All this talk about the defense, who's helping out on offense? Stay faithful, everybody.
Yeah, Maddie.
I was chewing ice. Sorry. I was really thirsty. I didn't think you'd want to hear that, so I kind of let that ride for just a second. But yeah, the red zone offense specifically is disgusting. I continue to hear about this offensive genius thing happening, and I'm not seeing it all that often. I see flashes of it, right? That opening drive against the Rams, we saw it. We know what this offense is capable of, no matter who is running the show, whether it's Nick Mullins, whether it's Jimmy Garoppolo, Trey Lance, Brock Purdy, Josh Dobbs, Mac Jones. Notice how I didn't put Brandon Allen in there because he sucks. 1.5 hands, 2 hands, doesn't matter. But I continue to see it, right? We know it's there. Unlock it. I know guys have been hurt. I'm sorry. Yes, there have been receivers hurt, but you have really good, talented players at tight end and running back. Utilize them. Use your genius. Channel your inner Walsh, Kyle. I know you can. I know you sit there and watch those old tapes. You've admitted it before. Go back and find some shit. Go back and watch that strike game against the Giants when they ran their wing tee. I give less than 2 shits. If Bill Walsh can run it, you can too. You have got the horses. Ride them to the finish line, Kyle. You can do this. We all have faith in you.
Thank you to Kate Rooney for coming on the show again.
Yeah.
She's always awesome to have on. Shout out to the chat. You guys are great. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. We are on every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Let's get this dub on Sunday. And as always, go Niners. And Dina, you're up.
Yeah, go Niners. And this is a time for us to recheck ourselves and reboot and win this game. Shout out to Bebop and Dawn and Sin, Terradome,
Everybody
and
in the chat.
my David McNiner. And we got to do this, and we can do this if we just play 49er football. And for God's sake, please just run the ball.
That's Dina's slogan for tonight. Run the ball.
Run the ball.
All right. We'll see you next week. Enjoy the game, everybody. Go Niners.
And of course, for the upstart 49ers, they're 6 yards away from Pontiac. 3rd and 3.
We'll see a pickup sometime on the right side, possibly.
Montana looking, throwing in the end zone.